Alright, so today we're checking out a home theater system that takes Sony's reputation for audio and pushes it into a complete package. This is the Sony Bravia Theater Bar 9 soundbar, paired with the SASW3 wireless subwoofer and SARS8 wireless rear speakers. Altogether, this system packs 13 speakers with 360 spatial sound, and the idea here is simple: bring the kind of immersive cinematic experience you'd expect at a theater, but in your living room. Let's start with the design because Sony's approach here is subtle but premium. The Theater Bar 9 is a long, sleek soundbar that doesn't scream for attention. It's got a minimalist matte finish, soft rounded edges, and a clean grille that hides the drivers inside. On its own, it already looks like it belongs underneath a modern flat-panel TV. But when you add the compact SASW3 subwoofer and the wireless SARS8 rear speakers, it turns into a full system that blends into your room without looking cluttered. Now, audio systems like these live or die on sound performance, and Sony's promising a lot here. Inside the Theater Bar 9, you've got 13 speakers, which includes up-firing drivers for Dolby Atmos, side-firing units for wider sound dispersion, and front-firing speakers that carry most of the dialogue and main effects. The SASW3 subwoofer, with its deep bass driver, is tuned to add the low-end rumble without being overpowering. And then there are the SARS8 wireless rear speakers that handle rear-channel audio for surround effects. So what does this all mean in practice? When you put it together, you get Sony's 360 spatial sound mapping technology. This uses the physical speakers and then creates what Sony calls phantom speakers, basically virtual sound sources that make the system feel like it's got way more than 13 speakers. The result is an enveloping 3D soundstage where effects aren't just coming from behind you or above you, but really filling in the gaps between channels. Watching a Dolby Atmos movie on this system is pretty incredible. Action sequences feel alive with motion, helicopters don't just sound like they're above you, they sound like they're moving across the ceiling. Explosions have the chest-thumping bass without muddying dialogue. And quiet scenes benefit too, with crisp detail in voices and ambient effects that give you a sense of space. Music playback is another strong point. Sony's high-res audio support and extreme upscaling mean that even compressed tracks from Spotify or Bluetooth sound better than you'd expect. Vocals come through with clarity, instruments have space to breathe, and the sub adds depth without drowning things out. For those who like bass-heavy tracks, the SW3 sub is more than capable of delivering that punch. One of the things I appreciate here is how simple Sony makes setup. The soundbar, sub, and rears connect wirelessly, so you don't need to snake speaker cables across the room. You just plug them into power, let the system auto-detect, and you're good. There's also Sony's auto room calibration feature, which uses built-in mics to analyze your space and adjust the output so you're getting balanced sound no matter what your room layout looks like. As far as connectivity goes, you've got HDMI ARC for a direct connection to your TV, optical input, and support for wireless streaming through Bluetooth, Chromecast, and Apple AirPlay too. If you're running a Sony Bravia TV, you also get the added benefit of acoustic center sync, which turns your TV into part of the center channel for even more seamless dialogue reproduction. Now, let's talk about control. You can use the included remote, but there's also support for the Sony Home Entertainment app, which makes adjusting settings a lot easier. You can switch between modes, tweak EQ, or set up voice control through Google Assistant or Amazon Alexa if you want hands-free control. In terms of performance versus size, the Theater Bar 9 sits in that sweet spot. It's not as massive or over-the-top as the higher-end Theater Bar 8 or some competing flagship soundbars with 20-plus drivers. But for most living rooms, this setup has the right balance of size, performance, and price. You're getting Atmos, DTS:X, IMAX enhanced,